Hi, and welcome to a Drafthouse Diary for Saturday, August 3rd, 2024, when I went to the Alamo Drafthouse at Sloan's Lake to see the movie KNEECAP. I didn't know much going in. I knew that it was about an Irish rap group, an Irish language rap group, and that was about it. But hey, that sounds like an artist biopic, so I'm down. That's my kind of thing. What I got from KNEECAP was a movie that was filled with energy and personality and a certain amount of charm, along with lots of other things, enough sex and violence and drugs, so much drugs, to offend a huge number of people. But it was an interesting movie. The movie shows the origin story for this group KNEECAP, two young men in Belfast, Northern Ireland, part of what the narrator at one point describes as the ceasefire generation, the generation that grew up after the Good Friday Agreement that put an end to most of the violence around UK versus Republic of Ireland sentiment in the North. But these young men still don't really feel at home being Catholics in Northern Ireland. They're also fluent in the Irish language, having been taught that as boys by the father of one of them, who back in the day was a fighter on the Republican side. Things turn around for these boys when, through a strange and pretty funny set of circumstances, they connect with a high school teacher who is an amateur musician and music producer who takes the street poetry and lyrics that one of them has been writing and turns it into music, turns it into a rap track. And from there, we get the typical ups and downs and crises and conflicts of an underground band origin story, made somewhat more complicated by things like the police interest and legal involvements around the whereabouts of the father, who is missing and would very much like to remain presumed dead. What gives this story another layer and some additional complexity and interest is the fact that this is all happening within the context of a movement to gain legal and official recognition for the Irish language in Northern Ireland. And some of the conflict comes from those who are behind this movement and see KNEECAP as detrimental to the movement because it's associating the Irish language with drugs and sex and debauchery and antisocial behavior and all the kinds of things that are going to diminish its respectability. While others, including the high school teacher who has now become the third member of KNEECAP as DJ Provy, that point of view is that things like rap music are making the language vital. They are making it important. They are making it mean something to the young people who are going to need to carry this language into the future. We see early on the high school teacher trying to teach the Irish language to high school students using textbooks where all of the examples and texts given are about cutting sod and other aspects of village life that were probably utterly outdated and irrelevant to high school students 50 years ago, let alone in the 20-teens when this is set. And partway through this movie, I found myself wondering, who are these actors in this movie? There were a few name actors that I recognized, but our leads playing the band members, they were outstanding, and I don't think I had seen them before. And one of them is the narrator, and again, a lot of energy, a lot of charm, and only later, after I saw the movie, did I learn these were the members of the band playing themselves. These were Mo Chara and Moglai Bap and DJ Provy, the former high school teacher. And that it was very impressive. Of course, they're playing themselves. They've got some amount of realism baked in, but they had a great presence on camera, all of them, even when they were being horrible and antisocial and behaving in ways that I wouldn't accept around me in the real world. There was a certain energy and charm to it. At very least, it was interesting and they kept you watching. So I don't know how long they're going to continue to ride the rap train. If that's what they want, then I hope they do that for as long as they possibly can. But I would be interested in seeing all three of these people in other acting roles because they do have talent, they do have presence, and I think it would be fascinating to see them take that part of their talent and expand that. And it's not a shock either, let's face it. Musical performance, and maybe especially rap performance, is a lot of acting, and they have translated that to the screen very well. Other parts of my trip to the Alamo, the pre-show did not seem to be specifically created for this movie, and that would have been interesting if they had had a pre-show that gave us a little more context around the Irish language, around Irish politics in the 20-teens. But I do understand that the Alamo can't create an entirely custom pre-show for every indie movie that comes through with a few screenings. The pre-show that we got, it was heavily music focused, a lot of music videos, some stereo ads from Japan. It was not bad. It was an entertaining 30 minutes, but it wasn't really connected to the movie. I did get some dinner, and I got the Hellfire burger. That's the burger that's been on their main printed menu for, I think, over a year now. And I had it once before at the Littleton Alamo, and I was very disappointed. It wasn't very spicy. It had way too much blue cheese. It wasn't balanced very well. I don't think, in general, it was prepared very well. But I know from other experience that the Littleton kitchen, the kitchen at the Littleton Alamo, is not as good as some of the others. And Sloan's Lake is usually good, so I thought I would try the Hellfire burger there. And it was great. It was properly balanced. It did have some spice to it. It wasn't overloaded with blue cheese, but you had enough to get that flavor. If you've got a good kitchen at your local Alamo Drafthouse, give that Hellfire burger a try. The staff was very good, as they usually are at Sloan's Lake. The service was very fast. So this was a late afternoon, early evening screening that I went to. Mostly maybe half to 3/4 full, which is good to see for a movie like this. And in general, it was a good time at the movies. I hope you enjoyed this Drafthouse Diary. If you did, please click that like button. And if you want more of these, click subscribe. But most of all, thank you very much for watching. I'll be back soon with more. And in the meantime, enjoy your movies. And when you do, stay till the end of the credits.